Okay. So I had put out about 65 applications and only gotten two interviews. So, there's part of that. I am a creative director. So part of that is reliant upon my portfolio. But the other part, that's the resumes just weren't getting through, even though they were ATS formatted. So I figured there had to be something off in the strategy. And then I think there was also, we can touch on this later, there was definitely an emotional component of it where if you're in a position to be needing a resume, quite often there's something very bad that happened with your job recently, and you're kind of struggling with some self-doubt. So that was the other half of it. So I'm a person who does a lot of online research, reading reviews before I make a large purchase. Resumeable came up at the top of multiple kind of third-party reviews. So I think the main deciding factor was the guarantee. So I was going with the largest package, and there was a guarantee that if I don't get a job, there's either the money back or the revising the resume. So positive online reviews and the guarantee. It was incredible. I was paired with Adeline. She's incredibly talented. So we had a conversation. Felt like it went well. She said my resume was strong. I gave her some job descriptions, and then she actually came back with where I was missing the mark. And the main thing, being a creative, I was focusing way too much on efficiency and process and not telling the creative story picture. So she was able to pick up on that really quickly and develop a new strategy. We worked together. I pulled a lot of information that she had to process. And being a person who hires copywriters on a regular basis, I was blown away with how she absorbed all of that information, and then was able to come back and weave it into a cohesive resume and bio. So, and using different tones of voice too. Um, for the resume, obviously, it was more professional. Cat joining the call. She even put that in to my bio that my cats crash Zoom calls. But for the bio, she used a much more personal, authentic, genuine tone of voice. So I felt like it really reflected who I was. Absolutely. I think, like I said, I've hired copywriters. It's a very good value for what I received. I think I would probably pay 3 to 4 times if I'd had hired a freelancer. And then I really thought the process that you go through with Resumeable was solid. From start to finish, you're kind of guided on this journey of here's what we need, here are the milestones, and the deliverables. The turnaround time was great. So process and a really great value.